Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. We have a brand new Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania scene to break down of Kang and his time travel ship. There's a bunch of cool Easter eggs and connections to the Fantastic Four, even to Doctor Doom. So we'll break it all down. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. In the new scene they released, we get a way better high-res, nice shiny look at Kang's time travel ship and his armor. It looks just like the comic book version. I love the way they did his suit. He's got a bunch of different types of technology here in the quantum realm in the trailer that serve different purposes. The giant city, it's based on the comic book version of Chronopolis, the city that he rules over in the distant future, which they also use as inspiration for the TVA, but I think that's going to wind up being a different variant of Kang. So like each has their own different spin on a lot of the comic book Easter eggs. But in the MCU, in this movie, this Kang the Conqueror variant uses this place not just as a regular city to house his army or as a giant fortress, it's also meant to be a giant device that he uses to control the entire multiverse, like his master plan for using the quantum realm to win the Kang multiverse war. The actual giant golden chair that he's sitting in here looks really comfy, like there's actually a seat behind him here too, like the seat that he sits in, and then another passenger seat behind him. You have to picture a variant of Ravonna Renslayer sitting back there with him. This chair is his actual personal time travel ship that he uses to jump around to different timelines, like the actual ship itself. It's based on a couple of his time travel ships in the comics, most notably his original time travel ship from the Fantastic Four number 19 back in 1963. There's a couple separate Easter eggs here and connections to the Fantastic Four and Doctor Doom. The other big connection to the Fantastic Four, you'll notice in the trailer, he's wielding the blue-colored quantum energy. It even seems like he's integrated into his biology, like his eyes glow blue when he takes his mask off. He gives it off in blasts, shooting Ant-Man, trying to kill him. It's the same type of blue-colored quantum energy that Mr. Fantastic used in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness in the 838 universe. I don't think that means that this Kang the Conqueror variant came from the 838 universe, but that would be another cool connection if he was. This variant of Kang the Conqueror isn't meant to be the 616 MCU version either, so he is from another universe. The version of Kang that came from the regular MCU universe's future was the He Who Remains variant of Kang. He's the person who won the Kang multiverse war because Kevin Feige, the Marvel producer, said that the sacred timeline that he had been ruling over for all of time covered pretty much everything that we'd seen in all the Marvel movies and TV shows up to that point. Everything that had happened on screen had happened inside the sacred timeline. So still big question which universe this Kang the Conqueror variant, the more evil one, came from. Kang is also meant to be a descendant of Reed Richards, many thousands of years removed. His original name was Nathaniel Richards. We got a little bit of his backstory from the He Who Remains variant of Kang. All of them have very similar backstories with subtle differences that lead them to different ends, like some of them wind up being way more evil than the others, as he teased during the episode.
And if you think I'm evil, just wait till you meet my variants.
You came to kill the devil, right? Well, guess what? I keep you safe.
Going from the Fantastic Four Kang connection because of them using similar types of energy, they also based Mr. Fantastic's quantum energy here on Doctor Doom's time travel platform in the comics. This is Michael Waldron, the writer, and Sam Raimi, the director, talking about that.
Lashana Lynch.
Lashana Lynch was a pleasure to work with.
Reed Richards of the Fantastic Four.
So is John.
Hello, Stephen.
Teleportation device he uses to get into the scene is something we took from the comics. That's Doctor Doom's time door, time platform.
Stephen, but it's not the Scarlet Witch that we fear.
And while it is not Professor X's first time on screen, it is the first time we see that hover chair from the animated series.
Reed Richards is my favorite Marvel Comics character, so it was a real honor to write his first entry, I guess, here in the MCU.
I don't know if they ever planned on Doctor Doom actually being in the movie. That would have been really cool, but there was meant to be a version who existed in the 838 universe, and that's how Mr. Fantastic came up with some of the ideas of how to use quantum energy this way. So you just have a lot of people using the same type of quantum energy in the same way. Originally, when Kang discovered time travel in alternate universes, the multiverse, he was just a regular scientist and a historian. Just a regular guy living in the distant future. One day he winds up discovering plans for Doctor Doom's time travel platform, which to him had been built thousands of years ago, way more primitive. So he takes Doctor Doom's plans for his time ship, upgrades everything with hypertech, like the future tech he has access to, tests it with his first mission being to go back to ancient Egypt, pretending to be the Rama-Tut version of his character. They actually had Rama Tut Easter eggs during the Moon Knight episodes, and I believe there are going to be some Rama Tut Easter eggs in the Loki Season 2 trailer. I've already done a video about that, so I'll link it at the end of this and down in the description below. There were also some Rama Tut Easter eggs during the end of Loki Season 1 as well, like he had a bunch of artifacts all over his office there from his different adventures all across the timeline. He even had an Iron Man helmet in the background too, just letting you know that he'd actually faced a version of the Avengers at some point in his timeline. When Kang grew tired of ruling over the past, he set up the mutant Apocalypse as his successor and returned to the future. Apocalypse later made a deal with the Celestials for their technology. That's how he got all of his armor, his ship. They kind of did a version of that during X-Men the Animated Series. That's where his spaceship came from, why he has that in the distant past, because the Celestials built it.
Early apocalyptic scholars referred to, and I quote, a mighty ship designed by creatures from beyond the stars.
The next time Kang returned, he came to the present day of the Avengers to try and defeat them, this time using the actual Kang the Conqueror name and wearing that same armor for the first time. And throughout his timeline, he'd lose some against the Avengers, win some, coming back in different points in his timeline using different names with different upgrades, different identities. He became the Scarlet Centurion. There was a child version of Kang who became Iron Lad on the Young Avengers, then Kid Immortus when that kid Kang tried to become a good person. The adult version of Immortus Kang was something they did during the Loki series. He Who Remains Kang was a combination of the Immortus version of Kang and He Who Remains from the comics, who was a completely different character. Immortus was meant to be Kang at the end of his timeline who'd softened a little, become more of a good character, as opposed to the Kang the Conqueror version that we see in the trailer, who's just a full-blown Avengers villain. The whole idea with this Kang in the MCU is that he winds up capturing Cassie Lang to force Ant-Man to help him steal a device back that was stolen by Janet Van Dyne when she escaped that will help him complete his time ship so that he can go on winning the Kang Multiverse War. Apparently the reason why he was stuck in the quantum realm in the first place is because Janet Van Dyne, she discovered him when she got stuck there. Initially he lied about who he was, what he was doing there. In order to survive while she was there, she created her own fortress in the quantum realm, and I believe that's what this place is here, the wreckage of this place. They worked together for a time, Kang manipulating her into helping him use the quantum realm to win the Kang Multiverse War, and when she discovered who he really was and what his plans were, she sabotaged his time travel ship, and that's the reason why Kang needs their help. He wants to force Janet Van Dyne to reveal what she did with the missing piece, and have Scott help him retrieve it so that he can go on winning the Kang Multiverse War. It sounds like a lot of that plot has something to do with this giant device that looks like Shang-Chi's 10 Rings of Power. I just did a video on this because these seem just like a giant version of Shang-Chi's 10 Rings, so it does seem like Kang is the person who built the 10 Rings. That's where the signal is transmitting to in the Shang-Chi post-credit scene. It also seems like he built Miss Marvel's bangles too. I think the idea is that when Ant-Man is trying to destroy this device, they're saying that it's the key to Kang's master plan to win the Kang Multiverse War. How he plans on beating all the other Kang variants and making his own timeline supreme. The only thing they haven't revealed in all the trailer footage, all the interviews, is why Kang is doing all this. Like, why does he want to win the Kang Multiverse War? One of the really big differences between Kang and Thanos is that Kang is as much at war with his other variants as he is with the Avengers. Like he's at war with himself, metaphorically and literally, in a way that Thanos never was. The whole idea is that it's meant to be a multiverse saga, Marvel Phase 4, Phase 5, and Phase 6, so he's trying to win the Kang Multiverse War 2.0 because He Who Remains won the first version of that and was preventing 2.0 from starting, but once Sylvie killed him, the timeline rebooted and it allowed all the other timelines to be freed and the other evil versions of Kang to rise up. If you think I'm bad, wait till you meet my variants. This Kang the Conqueror just happens to be one of those worst variants, but not the only one that we'll see. There will be another version of Kang during Loki Season 2. I've already done a full Loki Season 2 trailer video, like I said, for all the footage they've already released. I'll put a link for that at the end of this down in the description. But the next big Marvel series is actually Secret Invasion, and that won't be super connected to Loki Season 2 or what Kang is doing just in general. It's setting up more of an Earth-based Marvel Phase 5 story, which is a version of Dark Reign from the comics, where the Skrulls try to take over the world in Secret Invasion, but the villains take credit for getting rid of them and ride that newfound popularity to try and take over the world themselves. I think we're supposed to get the next Secret Invasion trailer during the Super Bowl or around that time. As soon as they release it, of course I'll do a video for it. The Secret Invasion episodes will drop around April or May after the Mandalorian Season 3 episodes. The other big reminder is that The Last of Us episodes on HBO are starting this weekend. I will be doing videos for that. Be sure to check them out. It is amazing. It is an S-tier video game adaptation. Click here for my Last of Us Episode 1 review, and click here for my full Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania trailer video. Thank you so much for watching. Everyone stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.